Today we're getting an update from officials with the New Orleans City Council. Joining us this morning is Council President Helena Moreno and Council Vice President J.P. Morrell. Thank you for coming in again. We do appreciate when you guys come in because there are so many things that need to be talked about. First of all, let's talk about the trash situation. I was just asking you, I am with Richards. I get my trash picked up twice a week now. Really haven't had any problems. Why are there so many problems elsewhere in town?
Well, I think it's a combination of factors. We had some issues, well, not we, the city had some issues pre-Ida where you had some unionization issues that kind of fizzled out. Metro had trouble picking up trash before Ida. The city took forever to sign emergency contracts after Ida, which really devastated both Richards and Metro's ability to pick up trash because they got so far behind. Currently, we're operating in the Metro service area through last Monday. We had Metro picking up about a third to half of their area.
Metro said they weren't being paid properly by the administration.
Well, the contract that they were working from for both Richards and Metro dates back to the Landrieu administration with various amendments on it. And going back to the original contract under Nagin, it had a fixed number of households. That was the post-Katrina number. The biggest problem we've noticed in this contract is rather than the city and Metro and Richard renegotiate the contract every so many years, they just kept adding addendums to it. And the reason why this is in bankruptcy court and the issue is so complicated is that both parties have kind of unclean hands in that they kept amending the contract verbally. For example, Metro's once a week pickup, when recycling ended, they didn't amend the contract. The city, the Cantrell administration said, nah, just do once a week. Nah, just get rid of recycling.
Well, and I think the bigger piece too is that the city never actually cited Metro, never said, hey, you're in violation of your contract. They just kept kind of, working with them and never really citing them. And because of that, Metro was like, well, I guess we're still operating well. And that's one of the problems that we're having now and why we can't cancel the contract with Metro, why we're paying them really to do nothing.
They're in bankruptcy right now.
They're in bankruptcy, but remember, we can't cancel the contract because we never cited them.
And that's why you guys voted against giving.
Because we're paying for now Metro, Waste Pro, and IV. But Metro really isn't doing anything.
But they said they're going to be picking up trash.
But here's the deal. So how is that going to work? Because you have IV and Metro who will be picking up trash.
Simultaneously.
I'm sorry. You have IV and Waste Pro who will be picking up trash. Well, what's Metro supposed to do? Do they just follow behind in a truck?
That's the issue. In bankruptcy court, in order to get out the contract, you have to prove non-performance. By the mayor moving forward with the contracts, everyone's trash in Metro services will be picked up once per week. Under their contract, the way it was negotiated and all the verbal amendments, they're supposed to pick up trash once a week. If the trash is picked up once a week and Metro proves they only have to do once a week pickup, it's out of their control if the mayor's hired somebody else to pick up that once a week trash.
And if IV's already picked up the trash, well then
the truck drives by.
But they're not getting paid right now because you guys held the funds.
Well, that's
incorrect.
That's it. Well, it's kind of a very confusing issue. So Matt Torrey, who's the head of sanitation, after the council said, hold on a second, we want to see what happens, the administration and Mr. Torrey said, nope, we're moving forward, and they're deficit spending.
So are they paying all three right now?
They're paying all three. And so we're going to have sanitation in front of budget on
for
Wednesday.
less service.
For less service, for one a day. And it's and really the new contracts are about 3 times higher than the previous contracts. And that was Metro's constant argument is that they thought that they should be getting at least twice as much as they were getting paid. And so now the new contracts are roughly 3 times higher, and it's only for 1 a day a week.
It's a mess.
And the whole city is going to go to 1 a day.
The whole city, right.
Okay, and let's talk about another issue. There's a charter change amendment on the ballot today. Explain why that's so important for you guys. Why you think it's so important to change that?
It's important.
A lot of people think the whole charter should be thrown out and redone. It's from the 50s.
It's very funny because people constantly complain the state constitution is a mess. The state constitution has been around since 1974. The city charter has been around since the 50s. The challenge we have with the charter right now as council members is people constantly call us, our constituents complain about departments and what they're doing and not doing, and whether people are qualified to do the job or not do the job. as council members, we're the legislative branch of government. We should have some authority, some input in the process of how they pick department heads, because we fund all the departments.
And that's what this change is all about.
Right. I mean, under the way things are currently structured, if the director of sanitation quit tomorrow, you and I would both find out the next morning who the next head of sanitation was.
And that's been the problem, is that we're finding out that, you know, department heads are leaving, someone else is now the department head, and we really have no knowledge about this particular person.
So you feel they're not fully vetted enough?
They're not vetted enough.
At all.
And I can tell you this, I mean, this charter change is not anything that is incredibly unique. The BGR did a great report where they showed that our peer cities, 85% of them have the same type of councilmatic approval of department heads. Jefferson Parish has it. So it's just another check. It's just another check to have that person come before the council, let us get to know you, let us understand your credentials, your background, and then we can move forward with the appointment.
And it kind of sounds like the animosity between some members of the council and the mayor is still there. But the other day, the mayor said this about the council and some of the problems.
You have stood tall as a council. I've seen that. You have made sure that you are, one, not only strong, but also you're independent. I respect that.
So
I
everything's
agree.
good now, right?
No, I agree with everything that she said. I believe that this is one of the strongest and most independent councils that we've ever had. And I believe that because we do operate as one when it comes to really important issues, that we can really make sure that we move the city forward in the right direction. I mean, one of the biggest things that we're really working through right now through the budget process is what's going to happen with the police budget. You know, what's going to happen as far as trying to recruit and retain more police officers. To me, that's really the council's biggest and highest priority. And whether or not what the mayor has proposed as far as her incentive package, on whether that's going to be enough to try to get officers in the door, whether it's just that cash payment that's going to be enough to turn the department around.
If that can keep on going, that is one-time money, and they got to find that money after.
Well, the problem right now, and I would like to put that comment in context. She did say that at the beginning of budget, which is the 6 weeks during the year where the council has more power than the mayor. So just saying that might have also been a little bit of pandering to the bias going to vote on the budget. But that being said, I think the issue you have generally with police and across the entire budget is that we see a lot of one-time money being proposed for multi-year expenses. And coincidentally, and I brought this up during the budget with the police, all this stuff is funded for 3 years, which is coincides with the end of the mayor's term, which means we were both legislators in the legislature under Bobby Jindal. We know what a fiscal cliff looks like. If you build
And we're using one-time money.
using
yes.
one-time money to build a cliff of spending that revenues can't meet. We will not saddle a future council and a future mayor with hundreds of millions of dollars of costs that have no revenue. The city is not on a path to get back to 2019 revenue until 2024 to get back to where we were. At the rate in which we're burning through cash and proposed spending on cash, we will be in far excess of that. So we're trying to really give pushback on, you need to break out in your budget. Like, for example, police cars. We have the most dilapidated fleet in Louisiana. In every other jurisdiction, every police officer has a take-home car. Part of that is visibility in cars being in communities. It would have been a far better use of one-time money just to replace the fleet with new cars. One-time money, one-time cost. We save tremendous amounts of money on maintenance with warranties. That right now in their budget, they've proposed 75 cars. We have.
I mean, technology and infrastructure upgrades through one-time money, like that makes sense. But
They last. Those are things that last.
Right.
But what doesn't make sense is, for example, they want to provide all first responders with, free health insurance. Well, that's roughly a $12 million cost recurring annually that currently they want to pay with one-time money. You want to talk about busting a budget. I mean, I can't find any, kind of good government watchdog group saying that would be a good idea. It sounds great. But what's going to happen 3 years from now when we can't pay for it?
And quickly, I'm totally out of time, but historically, the mayor of New Orleans is a very powerful mayor. With this charter change amendment, are you trying to take some of the power away from the
Absolutely
mayor?
not.
mayor?
Absolutely not.
This is not a power grab by the council.
Absolutely not. And people have mentioned that to me many times. You know, Helena, oh my gosh, like why would you want to diminish the power of the mayor? And I don't think it diminishes the power of the mayor. I think it adds a little bit of a layer of accountability, which I believe that the public would like. And I think that whatever next mayor should welcome.
Okay. If you just got the tail end of this interview, you can find the full interview on our website, wwltv.com. Thank you both for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're invited again.
Thank you. We made the cut.
Well, this is the third time, so yeah.